Ladies and gentlemen, Conor McGregor is back in headlines once again. Actually, for a couple of reasons. We're going to start with the first one. The second one, I just discovered it as I was doing research for this video. So I saw a video from Jesse on Fire. I'm going to show a clip of that video in a moment. But I saw a clip from Jesse on Fire about Conor McGregor apparently starting a meme coin. Now, I will be the first to admit I don't know that much about the inner workings of cryptocurrency. I, of course, own my own little stash, but it's all conservative currencies, ones that are strong, well known, and this is the I made my purchase of my portfolio based on people that I find to be reliable. I wanted a conservative purchases, and that's what I've gotten. The whole idea of meme coins and all this stuff, which is something that I've not even spent any time trying to dive into and understand. I don't get it, and I know it's quite risky. I watched a quick video before making this video to try and get a quick cursory understanding of meme coins, but that was my general takeaway. I still don't understand the exact mechanics behind them, but they are high risk, high reward. So this one guy was saying that basically a crypto expert, essentially, they can increase massively in value in a short period of time, or the likely case is they go bust, except whatever it is. Okay, what we know in the public, as we've seen from the Hawk to a Girl, from other people, they've launched these meme coins, and meme coins have been surrounded in scandal because essentially, and please somebody correct me in the comments if I'm missing something here, if I'm not exactly getting the characterization right, but what's basically happening is we're having celebrity sponsored meme coins or meme tokens, and they're pushed out to their fan base. And so fans of these celebrities end up buying loads of the meme coins, and that boosts the value of the meme coins. Then the owners, often these celebrities or whoever has launched these meme coins who own large shares, what they do is as they get an influx of purchases that ramps up the value, just like in the stock exchange, right? If you have a lot of people having a buying frenzy for a particular stock, that can shoot up the value of the stock because the perception of the value of the stock is then raised as more people are trying to buy it. That raises expectations of how the stock is going to do, and that can in turn affect the price. So it seems like something similar happens with these meme coins. But the terrible thing about it, and we saw this in multiple cases, but the Hawk to a Girl is the most notable, most recent case. Once the value shoots up, then the owners and the celebrities sell to make a quick buck. But then when they sell these large quantities of the meme coin, that again drops the price of the meme coin, and everybody who then purchased it with their money and with their savings, now the meme coin drops in value, and they're the losers. Because when you control the majority of, just like if you control the majority of shares of a stock, when you make a big move, that can have a massive impact on the price and the perceived value of that stock. So same thing I assume is happening here. Anyways, my point is it seems that celebrities are getting into this meme coin business to make a quick buck, to basically, hey, I'm going to leverage my fan base's trust and please correct me if I'm mischaracterizing this. I don't want to totally paint him in a bad light if it's completely unfounded, but it seems like it's a desperate move to make a quick dollar, to make a quick sale, and to make a very fast exit and end up with some cash in your pocket. I think some people were estimating that the Hawk to a Girl made around $1 million from her meme coin. But of course, look what happened. It destroyed her reputation. She may face legal trouble, lawsuits, civil lawsuits, etc., to recover some of the money, because people are calling it, CoffeeZilla in particular called it a total scam. Can't wait for CoffeeZilla to cover this. I hope he does, because I'm really curious to know his 2 cents on what happened. But here's what did happen with Conor's team. And in their defense, they are refunding everybody who tried to buy this coin. But apparently they needed to raise a minimum of about $1 million to proceed with the launch. They were only able to raise this amount, around just under 400,000. And when that failed, they said, okay, you know what? We didn't hit the minimum, so we're going to refund everybody. And I think that's great. The part that they're refunding, maybe they had no choice. Otherwise, they would 100% face prosecution, because if people are putting in this money and there's nothing to show for it, I imagine that's a pretty cut and dry example of just straight up theft. But anyways, regardless, to their credit, they said they're going to give immediate refunds. That's happening. Boom. But what does this say more so about where Conor McGregor is at financially? Now, I've been saying this from the get-go, and Jesse on Fire shares my sentiments. I've been saying from the get-go for a long time now that, people say, hey, Conor's never going to fight again because he's set for life. He's loaded. He's got all this money. He made 100 million here, 50 million there, blah, blah, blah. So he doesn't need to fight. He doesn't want to fight, and that's it. He's going to ride off into the sunset. I've been saying for such a long time or maybe since the beginning of this channel, that what you see is not necessarily what you get. Meaning with Conor McGregor in this financial situation, I don't think he's in this perfect position. In fact, I think, and this is even before he had the legal troubles with that sexual assault allegation and all that stuff in Ireland. This was before he lost that civil suit, which did real damage to his brand. But even prior to that, I said that I don't think Conor McGregor's financial situation and financial position is nearly as great as it seems. And the reason why, and this is just coming from the perspective of, look, I know having a lot of money is meaningless in terms of what you have in front of you at this current moment, in terms of your financial health and your basically the longevity of your money. And the reason why I say this is because it's not just about what you have. And this lesson was instilled into me from a very young age. It's also about your habits and your lifestyle and how you treat money. And we saw from the get-go that Conor was flaunting it to the max. Crazy cars, a Lamborghini boat, all these ridiculous purchases, partying out of control. Anybody can tell you, especially when you're an athlete, especially when you know your time, the runway of your earning potential ends fairly early in your life, before halfway through your life, usually. Anybody can tell you that if you're going to live your life that way, it's going to lead to problems. And don't just take it from me. We watched the documentary on ESPN of like 70% of NFL players being bankrupt 5 years out of the NFL, something like that. Or maybe that's for the NBA, but all the NFL, the NBA, maybe the NFL is even shorter. But these guys, these professional athletes get out of the professional league and they go broke in years. Okay. When they've made sometimes $50, $100 million and it's all gone. So again, the actual money that you accrue is meaningless if you don't have the right habits and systems in place. And if you're going to live these really luxurious, flamboyant lives, which Conor McGregor is obviously doing. So I said from the beginning, regardless of all these troubles, even if he would have continued to make more money, I think if he hadn't changed his habits, it would have been irrelevant, because eventually your spending habits increase disproportionately, so on and so forth. Now, Jesse on Fire is one of the guys that has been agreeing with me and saying the same thing. So let me just play this quick clip of Jesse chiming in and saying exactly what my theories were.
Ipso facto, probably did that out of desperation. So given that Conor McGregor had all of his sponsors pulled their sponsorships away from him, where he was probably making, not even probably, he was making millions of dollars a month, which went to nearly zero overnight because of this case in Ireland, which I will continue to defend.
I'm going to skip this part because he talks about the civil suit, which is not relevant to this video.
Conor McGregor is doing everything to try to show everyone the security footage from the hotel.
Hold on, let me fast forward.
Single sponsor pulled their money from him, right? And now he does a meme coin launch. And I mean, are we looking at an Adam 22 situation? Conor spends a lot of money. I realize people think that, like, if you can connect back to a couple $100 million paydays for somebody, you think that money never runs out. You're crazy. You can spend that money. Like, you absolutely can spend that money. And it doesn't take very long if you are living like a billionaire, caravanning all over the French Riviera or whatever. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. Okay. But one thing that I wanted to point out that I just think is funny is that the Hawk Tuah girl had the absolute number one most catastrophic to their career meme coin launch ever. Okay. Logan Paul had a really bad one, but he's obviously bounced back and gotten even bigger. But Logan Paul's career was built on a much more solid foundation than a girl who got asked a question while she was wasted in the streets of Tennessee and reference spitting on a dude's junk. Not exactly an insurmountable amount of social credibility if you do the wrong thing earlier in your career. And she launched a meme coin, which ended up becoming a criminal problem for her. She just got cleared of criminal charges. Okay. Everyone's like, oh, they cleared her of criminal charges. You're like, well, that's good. The only celebrity that actually faced criminal charges as even a potential thing that could have happened. She's not going to get charged. I guess that's a positive, but I don't feel like her career is going to do anything good as a result.
Okay, so anyways, he goes off on a tangent here on Hawk Tuah girl, but the point is that seemed to be a move to make a quick payday. And why would Conor McGregor even want to get into this game? What is the point? Unless he's in dire financial straits. So again, I know he's about to make this presidential run. I actually think that's part of the reason why his team, if he's really going to do it, which I have doubts about that as well, but if why his team, I think, is going to issue this very, very quick refund to anybody who tried to invest in all this crazy stuff. But I guess this is just another point in favor of the fact, which I've said, that he must be desperate for cash. I think he's in a lot of trouble. Then I saw this as I was about to make this video. I can't even believe this. I can't even believe this. Now, some of you guys may look at this and be like, "Hey, he just bought a $1.3 million car. Why? For what purpose?" But anyways, I just saw this, that he bought a $1.3 million car after his UFC retirement admission. So you guys will be like, "Hey, see, he's still got money." No, this is not a sign of that. This to me is a sign of more just being stupid with your money. I don't understand this. And I do think he's in financial trouble, but I think this is what this is emblematic of, is he has a massive, massive spending problem. He can't shut it off if he wants to, unless he got this car comped or something like that. That could be the only, or it's not even his, or they're just letting him drive it around. There could be that. But if he really did buy this, this is not a check in the pro column. Yes, he still has got money. This is in the wrong column. This is in the cons column. This is in the column that he does not know how to control his spending whatsoever. Why would he be spending this when we know his finances are on the downswing? At a minimum, we know they're on the downswing. So why would he be doing this? It makes no sense. So anyways, I think we can see now from all of this that Conor is either right now in financial trouble or on the brink of severe financial trouble. That's my 2 cents. Just want to point this out with these new developments. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree? Do you guys disagree? Do you think I'm totally off and that Conor is just, his net worth is grown and grown and grown and I'm totally off base here? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thank you guys so much for joining, and we'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.